Hey there people, it's the H-Man coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Today I'll be bringing you my draft review for the PVL Season 1 Pokemon Victory League. It'll be an interesting format in the league, so I'm not gonna talk about that a lot. I believe the league's gonna have a YouTube page, so if somebody is interested I can just lay down a link, although I believe the people will be watching this will be from the league most likely, so it won't be that big of a problem. Just say that it's one of those drafts where you actually pay more points to draft higher tier Megamons. So for tier 1 Megas you pay 40, tier 2 20, tier 3 you don't, and if you pick a tier 2 4 you get 60 points. This format is getting more and more popular. The draft leagues I'm joining, it used to be that you just get points if you pick a lower tier Mega. It's kind of makes me want to pick a tier 2, so I don't really want to spend 40 points on a Mega, although I do believe it makes quite a difference. And even though this league will be played on Showdown, it's gonna be level 50 months instead of 100. So with saying all that, let's get into my draft. This is my tier 1 pick. I picked Mega Tyranitar. Like I said before, we had to pay points for the Mega picks, higher tier ones. And Mega Tyranitar was tier 2. I was looking to grab a tier 2 man. I felt like Mega Tyranitar was a really good tier 2 pickup. It just has great stats, really diverse move pool, can run many different sets, play many different roles. It can set up rocks. Its typing is a bit interesting, gives it 6 weaknesses, one being 4-time weakness to fighting. It's got really good bulk to throw it away. It also has got 6 resist and an immunity to Psychic, being the dark type, which is nice. But both having that 4-time weakness to fighting and being kind of slow, it may not be able to check all the Psychic types that a dark type needs to check. But still, from that tier 2 Mega, I feel like Mega Tyranitar will be a great pick. Now, with this next pick, I actually thought about if I should get Excadrill or not, because I don't want to have two mons that kind of rely each other, Excadrill being a set sweeper, but then I figured I'll use it like that most likely, but I don't really have to, not necessarily. Excadrill can do some stuff on its own as well. Sand just makes it better. It definitely has got better typing than Tyranitar. It's got 7 resist and 2 immunities. But it got 4 weaknesses, which is fire, water, ground, and fighting. Most of them being fighting and water, and ground being common ones with Tyranitar. It's kind of hurting it. Doesn't have the bulk that Tyranitar has as well. It has better speed, especially under sand, of course. On that, it can both set rocks and spin, which is good utility and hopefully will come in handy throughout the season. So with getting these two in my third pick, I wanted to get Togekiss to deal with that fighting type problem that you get from getting these two. Togekiss is a good mon to pick up from tier 2. Right now it gives good synergy to my team with my other mons, especially with Excadrill. It can do almost everything for your team. It can be a defensive, offensive mon, or it can be a utility mon. It has Defog. Snaring Grace is a really annoying ability to face off against, so if you have it on your team, at least you won't have to face off against that. So with my next pick, I picked Cofagrigus right here. Wanted to have a fighting immune mon there as well. Another utility mon with good defensive stats. It can play an offensive role as well, potentially with Nasty Plot, Calm Mind, or like Trick Room. It also can set up Toxic Spikes. I mean, it's a pretty diverse mon too to pick up from tier 3, so I like picking up Cofagrigus. With the next pick, I believe it's my 5th, yeah, with my 5th pick I wanted to pick a good dragon type because they're running out fast, and I think that I already picked my tier 1 mon and a tier 2 mon. I originally wanted to pick Kyurem to be my other tier 3 mon, but it was picked at that time. So instead I decided to pick Goodra. They are somewhat similar, being bulky dragon types. I mean, Goodra may have better defensive abilities with its pure dragon typing and better speed def stats. But I do believe Kurum is the better mon here, especially with Roost. It gives itself more chances to do more in the game, whereas Gudra can't. Um, Also, Gudra has lower speed, but I'll use Gudra more in a more defensive way than I'd use Kurum. It has better defensive typing, like I said. Also, it can be both physically and especially offensive. It can be useful throughout the season as a dragon type. My next pick, I picked Rotom Wash. At this point, even though I had Spin from Excadrill or Defog from Togekiss, I felt like I'd need a more reliable option to remove rocks. I mean, Excadrill, if you put Rapid Spin there, it's gonna lose some coverage, which more often than not, it's not gonna be Troll to spin the rocks or other stuff. And Togekiss takes damage from the rocks. It can heal itself up, but still, it hurts its abilities there as well. Depends on what kind of set you want to bring. So I wanted to get Rotom Wash, it's a really reliable defog user, plus it does other stuff as well. At this point, I didn't have both electric or water type now. Plus, that levitate ability, its only weakness is grass, which I can pick, especially Kudra. So I felt like it had good synergy with my team, and it kind of closed some gaps that I had right now going on. I could really use a Volt Switch turn on as well. So at that point, I decided to pick up that Rotom Wash. So with my next pick, I decided to pick Salazzle in tier 3. Again, I said I originally planned to pick Kurum from tier 3. When I didn't, kind of changed a couple of months and decided to take Salazzle. You definitely need a fire type mon right there, and looking at my team right now, I could use a mon with good speed tier, because the only mon I had that can be counted as good speed, having good speed, is my Excadrill, understand, but then again, it's relying towards sand. You want some mons that does it naturally. Salazzle can do that. It has typing again that I kind of needed. It's a good offensive mon, fast and just to hit things. Of course, it has awful bulk, as we all know, but still, it's very usable. I'll use it throughout the season. With my next pick, I took the same route and picked Noivern from tier 4. From a tier 4 mon, taking Noivern helped me with my speed problem right there, and it's a good diverse offensive mon I can use. Its typing, I necessarily didn't need it, but like I said, from tier 4, at this point I can only draft that tier 4, and my 2 free picks needs to be tier 5 because of the points I had, so getting that speed was kind of necessary. So my next pick, I picked Primate. I wanted a fighting type. You need those in draft leagues. I don't really have mons that has like good fighting coverage as well when you look at it. So I have a Primate there. It's a great pickup from tier 5 when you think about it. It puts good synergy to my team, kind of has a role in there. With my other tier 5 pick, I picked Meganium for similar reasons. You really need a grass type in those draft formats as well, especially with both water and ground type mons are pretty popular and like usable. There's a couple of them as well. You'd want a grass type, and it's kind of a good defensive typing, just a pure grass type. Meganium for a tier 5 mon has pretty good bulk, can be athletic, it has Dragon Tail as well, so you can stop setup against it, which is also nice. Like I said, from tier 5 it's a good pickup, as long as it closes gaps in my teams, which it manages to do. And with my last pick, I drafted Masherna. Masherna is just a good tier 5 mon for me. I really like it, because it's got great bulk, but it has decent special attack stats as well. It's got good typing and psychic, and got fairy coverage. Can do a lot of things. Wish and Healing Wish being really important. Looking at my team, especially if something were to happen to both Excadrill or Tyranitar, if they're low on health, I can just Healing Wish and bring them back with full health. Could be useful in the game throughout. Looking at my whole team, at the end, kind of liked my draft. I feel like it could have been better, especially in that speed department. I have Salazzle and Neuer, which has good speed. If you add Excadrill, there's still the rest of the mons are in base 90s to 70s, so I have really fast mons, but then they're like in between, there's a gap. That may cause problems in some games, but if it does, we'll have some free agent moves. But other than that, synergy wise, defensive typings and all that, I felt like I nailed it. I feel like can use this team and get to somewhere good at the end of the season. Can't wait for the season to start. I believe it's going to start next week. So I'm bringing you my team builders and game replays like I do with UBL when I have them. So I hope you'll stick around to watch that throughout this season. Hoping it's gonna be a fun one. Hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.